Photos, a reflection, an echo, reminiscent. It captures the raw, the pure, the emotion of a given moment. But what I see in pictures is nothing like what I remember it actually being like. It's like, I know that it's me in these, and at the same time, I barely recognize that girl. She's a stranger. I can see it in her face, in her eyes. So altered. Hiding inward battles that I know were heavy on her heart. There was nothing good coming out of who I was then. It literally felt like I was dying while trying so desperately to prove to everyone around me how truly alive I was. I think one of the things that I dreaded the most was having to look at myself in the mirror, because I knew that I would have to actually face all of the imperfections that were constantly running through my mind. I'd look myself dead in the eye sometimes and just say, "You are so disgusting. I can't even stand to look at you. How can he love you? How can anyone love you?" And then I would walk out of the bathroom and sit down next to him and pretend to be that perfect girl that was expected of me. Man, I would try so hard, and none of it ever seemed to be good enough. There was always something that I said or did that was wrong, and the slightest error, he would just blow up, and I'd have to spend hours of crying and pleading to make it better. And that was my life. You know, after being told that you're worth nothing for 4 years, you eventually begin to believe it. Like, why did I deserve anything better than what I had when I didn't feel any more worthy than dirt under his feet? Like this constant voice, it was always talking to me, and eventually the suicidal thoughts took over my mind, and depression totally took over my entire life. I just remember coming to this point in my life, wondering if this was what it was gonna have to be like. Was this all that God had in store for me? Because if so, I didn't want it. All of this emotional and mental abuse wasn't worth it to me anymore. And because there felt like no way out, I'd rather die than have to live that way. I remember so vividly. I was literally pleading back and forth with God, just saying, "Lord, help me. Help me out of this, God. I don't want this relationship anymore. I don't even want to live anymore, God. Not if it's going to be like this. I'm choosing you, God. Save me from this. Save me, Jesus." There's just something about God's nature. His nature to be faithful to those who choose him. Faithful every single time. Psalms 116. Our Lord is gracious and righteous. Our God is full of compassion. The Lord protects the unwary. When I was brought low, he saved me. Return to your rest, O my soul, for the Lord has been good to you. For you, O Lord, have delivered me from death, my eyes from tears, my feet from stumbling, that I may walk before the Lord in the land of the living. All the great pain that I felt before, it was all so simply washed away. It was like falling in love, except this time, the love wasn't harsh or judgmental or disengaged or insecure. It was pure. A love that so overwhelmingly wanted me to know how wild it was for me. The depths of this love, it reached the places of my soul I forgot it could be touched. I was completely submerged in something so sweet. His love brought a downpour of freedom. His love, it set me free. It was Jesus. He saved my soul.